Hi. Welcome to Movies Reflexed. Today, I am going to show you a 2017 sci-fi horror movie titled Alien Covenant. Watch out for spoilers. Take care. At the start of the movie, we see a humanoid robot. His name is David. He is the main character of this movie. David was created by a man. One day, he asks his creator, "There is a fact that confuses me. I came into this form only when you made me. But how did you arrive on this planet? Who made you?" Then that man says, "Even I don't have the answer to that question. I need your help in this." David says, "I am better than you. And I will be utilized for help forever. Your age will grow as the time passes. And one day, you will die. But I am everlasting. I will never die, nor can anyone destroy me." Here, it is felt that David has an upper level of robotic mind. It means he used to think that he is the highest from the rank. He used to take others as nothing. Now, the time moves to the coming time. The people of that era had made a great spacecraft. With it, the people will be sent to another planet where life really exists. That spaceship had been made using highly advanced technology. And many crew members were also going on this expedition to space. Because the time of many years may be required to get to that planet and colonize it, so a robot had to be sent in it to maintain everything in the ship properly. And it was astonishingly used to look like David physically. David had been made many years ago. But this robot had the resemble of David. He was also highly advanced and he helped the human being in several ways. Now, that time approaches when the spacecraft had to fly into space, taking many people in the colonized ship. Their mission was to reach that planet. They had arranged every types of facilities possible in that spaceship. Because many years were required to reach that planet. Suddenly, a flash of shockwave hits the spaceship. As a result, the whole system of the spaceship shows errors. Now, the robots present their attempts to fix the issue. But of no use. He wakes the others and says, "We will all die if the system of this ship gets damaged." But the captain of the spaceship is unable to come out of his glass pod. And it catches fire. He burns to death. Now, the remaining survivors begin to repair the ship. Then, they find some transmission waves coming from a nearby planet. They all begin to gather information about that planet. They come to know that this planet is suitable for the human beings. Above it, it is nearest to them. They were in an advantage for this. Because another planet where they were to reach, it would cost them hundreds of years to reach. Now, the captain's wife is sorrowful whose husband was burned to death. And she replies in a few words, "I didn't like this thought. Because we haven't conducted any research on this planet. I am also shocked. When we were examining in the space to find a planet suitable for the human being's survival, then why didn't we detect that planet? Its atmosphere may not be appropriate." Then the crew members of the ship says, "We will check it going there now." Now, they turn the ship to that planet. At last, they reach there within a few days. Reaching there, they receive even more transmission. So, they remain in the spaceship in the orbit. They don't land on that planet right away. Now, one group lands on the surface of that planet with a small ship. They were going there to investigate the planet. Then, their transmission with the crew of the space is disconnected. Captain's wife tells the others, "I will check the system. You may go to examine the planet." As the remaining members move to examine the planet, they notice some crops there. Seeing it, they are left astonished. How did it even grow here? A girl among them checks the soil of that planet. And she collects some dust as a sample. At the same time, a man steps on a plant. Something like black ash extracts from that plant. And it goes inside his ear. That man is contaminated by the spores. On the other side, another spacecraft is seen. It belongs to a girl named Elizabeth. She had traveled there with some engineers. But many years had passed of her arrival. Now, they are all shocked, thinking, this spaceship is still here. Observing it, they go inside. Inside, there are some photos and many other things that belong to Elizabeth. Now, that man begins to feel strange, whose ear was infected by the spores of an unknown organism. He couldn't breathe properly. And that girl who had taken the samples of dust begins to move forward with it. She contacts her husband. And she informs him that something wasn't right. "We all will have to move back to the spaceship. At least, we can secure the infected man there. That infected man's body is bleeding much." Taking that man, she comes to the spaceship. Seeing his condition, a member of the crew is frightened. She thinks how something like this can happen so quick. She locks that man along with a girl into a room. She says, "We cannot take any risks. His body bleeding at such an extent is not a normal issue. Look. His condition is worsening." But that girl locked in the room requests to her, "Please let me out. I am not infected." But she is frightened from her. Then it is seen that infected man's waist begins to bleed much. Because a spider-like alien creature is coming out of his waist. It was looking terrifying and weird. As it is going to attack now. The girl outside saw everything. She is really shocked. She goes to take a gun. The other girl who was with the infected man begins to shout loudly. She says, "Get me out of here. This creature will kill me." And it happens the same. That alien creature kills that girl. At that time, that girl brings the shotgun. And she begins to fire on that creature. But that alien creature is very dangerous and fast. None of the bullets from her shot could hit it. It was jumping around escaping all the shots. Then, that frightened crew member begins to fire her gun at random directions. Consequently, a part of the spaceship catches fire. And that girl also dies there. The entire spaceship was also destroyed. On the other side, there are some people near the fields of crops. One of them is the husband of that girl who was killed by the alien. Actually, another of his companion had also been infected. And an alien had also come out of his mouth. It didn't attack them but it ran into the crops field. They all are scared and begin to think, what was all that? They try to connect with the main spaceship which is in the orbits. Unfortunately, the connection is failed. Then, that alien starts to attack them. The android robot saves them from it. But during this fight, his wrist is destroyed by that alien's blood. But they could finally kill it in the end. Then, one more alien appears here. Before it, a man takes out flare gun and shoots it towards the sky. Then, that alien runs from there. You will be surprised to learn that, who was that man? Who shot the flare in the sky? Actually, it was none other than the robot, David. The same robot which was seen at the beginning of the movie. He had come here along with Elizabeth. David starts to tell them about the black spores of the organism. How is it infecting the people? But when it is transformed into the alien creature then, it becomes vigorous. But I have an idea. We can use them for our defense after taming them. Now, Captain's wife takes the idea to be weird. And she instructs the android robot, don't be entrapped by the words of David. Actually, David is also jealous of that robot. He was made after him using more superior technology. I have told you, he always wanted to be the number one and also wanted to stay in that position. The android also starts to keep an eye on David. Then, he comes to know that David had experimented on many things presented here using that black ash. Its name is black fungus. Here, it is revealed that David has turned into the rival robot. When it appeared here as the first lander then, some inhabitants used to live here. Neither they were like the human being, nor like the alien. They are just innocent inhabitants living in this planet. But David killed all of them using this black spore of organism. Now, David begins to tell that android, I am believing you. And I will reveal some things for you. You are also a robot like me. I hope that you are not going to tell it to the human beings. Then, David begins to say, I came here with Elizabeth. And we were living here with satisfaction. But one day, Elizabeth died, and I buried her. But it was wrong. He was telling a lie. Contrarily, the spacecraft in the orbits is seen. Everybody there was in fear. Then, an alien creature comes here and attacked them. And another girl is killed here. Now, they all decide to move their spaceship to the planet. Then, that alien appears before David. But it doesn't attack him. It was being realized as if that alien has familiarity with it. It stands on its legs. As it is conveying some message to David. The greatest secret is revealed here. This alien was actually created by David. He begins to communicate with it. At the same time, a crew member kills that alien by firing his gun on it. Witnessing it, David begins to shout. What did you do to my creation? Now, that man points his gun at David and says, tell me, what the hell is going on here? Then, David shows him his all-conducted experiments on each insect. Elizabeth is also seen there. The matter of fact is this, she didn't die naturally. But David had conducted many experiments on her. And he kept her among the other aliens. Something comes out of the egg and sticks with the face. David did the same thing with Elizabeth and turned her into this. She was dead. But her body was still alive because of the attachment of that creature. Now, David brings that man at another place. There were many eggs of these aliens. Something comes out of that egg and sticks on the face of that male crew member. After a little changing, a weird creature appears from his chest. Seeing it, David gets excited. Because he had conducted this experiment on humans after many years. As it had also been conducted on Elizabeth. Now, David goes to that android and says, "We will kill all these human beings. And start a new life on this planet." Then, that android says, "No, that's not gonna happen." David cannot tolerate that, he has been rejected. David damages that android. But that android remains secure. Because it could heal itself. Contrarily, the captain's wife comes to know the reality of David. David gets furious on it. How clever this woman is. He tries to kill her. But he thinks before it that, why don't I conduct the same experiment on her which I had done on Elizabeth? David is extremely brutal. He is going to conduct that dangerous experiment on captain's wife. But then, that android reaches here. It had repaired itself. A great fight is held between them. They attack on each other several times. The remaining crew members who were in that spacecraft begins to search for that alien which had escaped before. They also search the other aliens so that they could kill all of these. But that alien assaults them while attacking them many times. Now, all the crew members run to that part of the spaceship. The android also comes after them. They were running to that spaceship in order to escape this planet as soon as possible. That alien also comes on that spaceship. Captain's wife comes to know about it. That the alien is here. So, she gets off that spaceship with a rope. As being intelligent, she kills that alien. At last, all are satisfied thinking that they had killed all the aliens. And we are leaving the scrap. But little did they know that their happiness was not to last long. Because there was an infected man in their spaceship. A gigantic creature appears from his chest. Then, they start to face it. And they succeed on killing it after several attacks. But the worst side of it was that alien had also killed many people among them. Now, the android locks the captain's wife in a pod. She is shocked thinking what happened to it. But she comes to know that it is not their robot, but David. Captain's wife is locked inside the pod. She had fallen asleep for a long time. And she wasn't going to wake up until she is brought out of that pod. Who knew? Who will get her out? Will she even ever be able to escape? Finally, David appears on the scene. He had achieved success in each of his plans. There were also alien creature embryos in it. It will be able to begin a new existence on this planet. With it, the movie ends here. If you enjoyed this video, then please subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for the upcoming uploads. Thank you for watching.